How sweet it is to be loved by you nerds. What is up? It's me, your buddy Paul. Hey, it's me, your buddy Paul HeyArcher. Welcome back to HeyArcher Live here on Nerd Affiliated. So happy to have you guys here with us tonight, with me tonight, with I tonight. It will be a good night. This is your weekly nerdy talk show where we sit back and relax. I said we sit back and relax. And hopefully by now you've poured yourself just a little bit of vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer. As we cruise into the weekend. Ooh, that was a swig. Yeah, no agenda for today either. I didn't even know what to put in the title because I was just like, wait, what am I supposed to talk about today? So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna load up Instagram and we'll find a lot of things to talk about as per usual. But if you have a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, OnlyFans, newsletter, smoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat. Support one another. Plug yo shit. We have WrestleMania this weekend. Apparently, I didn't even know that. So I feel like people aren't really talking about that. So we'll look it up and see what the matches are going to be, because I think I know one, maybe, and that's kind of rare because I usually pay attention to like the big events. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about maybe some Daredevil. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. That's what we always do. Maybe I'll throw a link in the chat. Who knows? But without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, it is me. It is me. I'm the problem, and so is my camera. It's me. So happy to have you guys here tonight. Like I said, I put you guys here right now. Do you guys like that? You guys are there now? Am I too close to you? Should I? Let me see if I can turn it. See if this works. Yeah, it's better. Felt like I was pressed up on you guys here. But yeah, I'm gonna try out a new layout, small changes here and there, and then as time goes on, we mix it up. So let's say hi to the chat. Say hi to everybody. Creativity from the Future in the house. Good to see you. I was just thinking, I feel like I haven't been that late lately. I feel like I've been doing pretty good. I have a good streak of maybe 2 minutes behind, a minute behind. I feel like I haven't been egregiously 10 minutes late in quite a while. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Am I wrong? Do you guys want to let me know? Let me know. Tell me. Rambling Nerd in the house. Anthony, good to see you. Ultra Carter in the house. Good to see you. KO, good to see you. JV in the house. Good to see you. Got Marsha in the house. Good to see you. You guys saying hi to each other. Change your theme song to Metalingus by Alter Bridge. I don't know that song. Didn't we talk about this before? Where I was saying how that I know Creed broke up and created Alter Bridge. And then I feel like they had a song on one of the WWF soundtracks back in the day. You guys remember that? That was crazy. So shout out to T3. I was on T3's podcast on Monday. He's attempting to do a podcast at least 4 times a week, maybe 5 times. I'm forgetting tonight's guest actually, so let me pull that up so you guys can see. But make sure you guys have subscribed. I'm sure you have if you're in this chat, but T3 collects tonight. He has AZ Toy Hunters Guild. There you go. And I was on Monday. So I'm going to copy that, put it in the comment section. I got to get my street cred up because right now I'm the lowest views of the week although I'm against some pretty heavy hitters. The man collects and Art G. So shout out to those guys. But yeah, tonight is AZ Toy Hunters Guild, and then he's gonna keep rolling. I think he said he's not doing tomorrow. He might do one this weekend, but then he'll continue Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So make sure you guys are subscribed and check that out after this show tonight. But on his show, saying how I grew up pretty religious, and Creed was one of those bands I could actually listen to without my parents knowing whether it was secular or not, Christian or not. Turns out they were a low key Christian band, so there was that. But the other soundtracks I owned when I was younger, the WWF theme songs was one of them. Kind of bringing that conversation full circle, and I loved it. I can't remember what the last song was on the first album. Maybe it was Stone Cold was the final one, but I remember I used to play the last song like a lot, and I think that's what it was. I think it was Stone Cold's song. But to get our plugs out the way, of course, Nerd Affiliated on Instagram. You can find us for the latest memes, the latest news, all that fun stuff. And then we're also on the website, nerdaffiliated.com. One-stop shop for merch, photos, links to all the streams. If you want to listen to the audio-only podcast, you can do that there as well. We're actually, I didn't know this. So this show, the Thursday night show that I do sometimes on other nights, is on Apple, on Spotify. I tried to get on Pandora. I feel like there was a glitch there. I don't even know if people still listen to Pandora. A couple other ones. But I signed up for the YouTube podcast platform, which I think just turned into YouTube Music. And I just got notified that we're officially on YouTube Music as a podcast. I thought I was automatically in when I applied for it. I guess I wasn't. So if you do want to listen to this and you don't want to sit through the whole video, after the fact, you'll find it on your YouTube Music tab or app. Do people use that? I don't know. I don't know. But we're there too. If you're into the Ghostbusters side of things, of course, we have the realnerdbusters.com, where we have, again, the more Ghostbuster centric stuff. But if you're looking to update your Proton Pack, we are officially ambassadors of tools and talent props. So use code HeyArcher at checkout. Save yourself 15%. Those are all my commercials. I think I'm good. On commercials. Mark in the house. Wow, good to see you. We're going to hit the button for Mark.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
There you go. Got Dave's Dimension in the house too. Good to see you. Love that. Nerd Affiliated, taking the world by storm. I wish. Yes. So actually, I was going to talk about this. A couple of you have picked up some of the newest merch, which I greatly appreciate. Always appreciate the support. A lot of you have picked up merch in the past, and you guys know I love making the merch. It's something I'm wearing it. I'm wearing it right now. And something, what was it? Was a Spinal Tap where they were saying you can't wear your own merch, and then I think Metallica said that at one point. I'm like, F that. I'd rather promote myself than promote somebody else on my persons. But what I wanted to talk, I'm going to talk about tariffs at some point tonight. I might as well start now. With relation to me. So right now, the place that I make the merch is a company called Printful. Printful actually, during COVID, opened up multiple factories here in the United States. So, and they did it in order to speed up turnaround time. Because if you remember, during COVID, everybody was like starting their own brand. You can, mugs, shirts, all that fun stuff. So, of course, That's how I found them. I started using them, and so all my stuff's printed in the States. That's how it's been for the longest time with them. I think they may have closed one or two factories, um, but I'm pretty sure everything still gets printed in the States. However, however, while the printing happens in the States, usually the product and the materials comes from overseas. And they actually source a lot from I think Vietnam was one. I think there's a place in Central America as well that they were getting stuff from. Like I've noticed on a lot of my clothes, there's a lot of countries on it that are not China. So I didn't even think about this as I've been talking about all the tariff stuff, but there's a chance that even my merch would have to increase because of the material prices that are increased when they get to the warehouse to be screen printed or whatever they do in the when it comes to the United States. If that's the case, I will probably turn off the store for a while. Like I don't think that this is a short-term thing. You guys know how I feel about it, but I feel like I'll turn it off until I figure it out. And if it becomes normal where we're all spending crazy money on things and like we're just used to paying that amount of money, then maybe I'll turn it on. I might even just leave it on for the hell of it because if you guys want to buy things, like who am I to stop you? Um, but funny enough, the way I price things now on the site, I really don't make anything on it anyway. So um, if the cost for everything, if it does increase, I'm tempted to turn things off. But you know, I don't know if you guys still want things. I guess I'll leave. I don't know. I did not think about that until like 5 minutes before I hit live. And I was like, wait a minute, my stuff. I didn't think about that. So, I don't know. I'm tempted to turn it off, but you know, I guess who am I? Maybe it doesn't even matter. I could just be, this could have just been an inside thought and I talked about it with all of you. So, I mean, but that you guys are my fam. So I talk it out with all you guys. Is there something on? Rambling said, no, not really. There you go. There you go with the cheers. Love that. It's been a minute, Mark. Good to see you. All right. Um, so using I actually kind of like this. I like the fact that we're posting more on social media because I can just load up our own page and find things to talk about. Not that we were ever short on words here on the channel, but you know, it makes it a little bit easier. So I didn't realize that this was only 10 years ago, but happy birthday to a GOAT TV show, GOAT live action superhero show. Happy birthday to Daredevil.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
I didn't realize. I was talking to the guys about it. You know what? I don't know why I didn't do that. In honor of Murdoch, I'm gonna put on my Murdochs. There you go. I didn't. No way I can wear this for the whole show. I didn't realize that this was only 10 years ago. The fact that we got 3 seasons of Netflix's Daredevil and we got Defenders. I just kind of assumed that the show came out in like 2005 to 2008 or somewhere in there. But it turns out it was 2015. And then that's when I realized, oh, that's right. They were cranking out the seasons back then. Like he did season 1, it was a hit, and then like season 2 and 3 were like back to back, and then in between there they were shooting Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist. They were all filming kind of like simultaneously, like overlapping each other, because the show only ran 2015 to 2018. Mind blown. Whereas these days, it's like 3 years in between seasons. So crazy to me. I didn't realize that's how it was at the time, that the seasons were so back to back. But like I said, happy birthday to Netflix Daredevil. Amazing show. Amazing show. Sorry. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, by the way. We got 14 watchers, only 5 thumbs up. Smash that shit like it's the hand. Booyaka. Man Collects in the house. Good to see you. Ultra Carter says, anyone seen Jurassic World Chaos Theory season 3? If no, no spoilers, since I haven't watched it yet. No, actually, the only person I know that watches that is Lenny on For Those of Good Taste. He's the only one I know that has watched that show, and he likes it. So, yeah, I got nothing else on it. I haven't seen. You know, the Netflix animated shows for some reason just don't do it for me. It's like the animation style, like it bothers me. It's similar to, I guess, when people are like, "Oh, I couldn't get into Spider-Man," or I can't get into Clone Wars. Like the animation's not for me. The Netflix animation style just it bothers me, and I can't get into the shows. I think it's on Netflix, right? So, yeah. I thought this was pretty funny, actually. You need to binge watch season 2. All right, cool. Kat Dennings went to Disney this past week and forgot she was in Disney. Forgot she was in Marvel. And I'm not gonna lie, if I saw her in public, I don't know if like WandaVision would have been my first thought. Like I probably would have thought Two Broke Girls, even though I don't watch it. And I know she's in that new Tim Allen show. But there's so much Marvel content that I don't doubt people would forget she was in it, and I don't doubt she'd forget she was in it, because WandaVision was what, at this point, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, she probably filmed it. So that was pretty funny. Even though, actually no, she voice acted for What If season 2, but maybe it was just like a paycheck. Didn't really matter. Who knows? I did a lot of memes, as you guys can see. I'll talk about that Toy Shiz one later. First of all, shout out to General Kenobi. Shout out to Star Wars Sith and oh god, what's his name? I'm forgetting his name. The Padawan Collector. They are currently in the air, flying over to Japan, landed a Rising Sun to go to Star Wars Celebration, and one of the Hot Toy exclusives over there, Sith Apprentice, Anakin. First voice break of the night. This thing looks good. This thing looks dope. This looks dope. Yeah, Joey the Padawan Collector. Is it on the site yet? Let's see if I can find some good photos here. It's a limited run, and I thought it was just going to be on their site, but then I believe somewhere they showed it was exclusive to Hot Toys, or sorry, exclusive to Celebration. Yeah, limited 1,500 units in Japan, and only going to be 1,000 in selected channels. That's crazy. Comes with this little like diorama piece here. I think the price was leaked, and it seemed pretty high, like 600 bones, which is way too high for me. But I don't know. As far as an exclusive goes, I feel like this shouldn't be an exclusive. But at the same time, like, it's a pretty cool exclusive. It's a pretty cool exclusive. So, yeah, anybody gets their hands on that one, I'm jealous. I am jealous. Patrick in the house, good to see you. Steve in the house, good to see you. Coming to us live from the shower. There you go. Let me just actually fix this real quick. That's funny. Hasbro needs to make an all-new Revenge of the Sith Darth Vader in both TVC and Black Series, head to toe, since the previous release are not great in today's standards. Note, I'm talking about the pre-burned look. I agree with that. Black Series just needs a rehaul altogether. Like I've told you guys a million times, the Jedi coming with trigger hands bothers me. Single jointed elbows still bothers me. Like, they're redoing some of the sculpts, and I know Disney's hard to work with, but Black Series needs a refresh. Bad. So, yeah. We actually had a couple other announcements here. K2SO, he is not a Japan exclusive. Comes with light up eyes. And then we have a Cassian Andor. Just in time. Well, the announcement's in time. He won't be in hand, but Andor comes out next week, 2 weeks from now, the 22nd. Looks really good. I didn't post about this one because I wasn't really excited. Yeah. People are starting to realize it, man. Hot Toys is Lethal just released the Artisan Anakin and had a waitlist debacle, and they dropped. Oh wait, there's more Anakin. That's funny. Yeah, this one's gonna be rough. This is gonna be rough for us. Totally. We also need a newly sculpted Revenge. I keep saying return. Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan, since both TVC and Black Series. In both the TVC and Black Series, since their previous release ain't good in today's standards, and not even the archive Black Series Obi-Wan isn't good either. Yeah, I do love the Clone Wars armored one that was at Target, but yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm telling you, I agree with the whole thing. The entire Black Series line needs a refresh. So, but these look cool. I gotta say, these look really good. Not for the price, not something I would get necessarily. The K2SO, if you're able to army build that'd be pretty dope. Sorry, my nose is itchy. But not for me. But I like them. And I love Rogue One. You guys know that. Yeah, the rest of these we've already talked about. This is going to be the standard release one. That's great. Ooh, I didn't catch that before. That's awesome. That's awesome. I think too, because he's mean mugging it. I'd still be good with this version. And they were smart enough to put him with the Dooku saber. They can just give him a random red lightsaber. Yeah, this is a good one. The Sith eyes, if I had to choose between the two, like if they were both in front of me, I would definitely choose the Sith eyes. But considering that's an exclusive, that's going to be more money with the diorama. If I had to, I would get this one. No problem. I wouldn't feel bad about it. Not at all. Not at all. All right, heading back to our page. How much for the Vader? Do you mean? Actually, I don't know if they put him on the page yet. Do you mean the actual Vader that was there with the red cell shading? Or here's Anakin. 450. Oh my god. This one's limited to 3,000. Whoa. I tell you, they're already implementing 415. 415. That's a great head sculpt though. 415. Oh my god. The Anakin Sith eyes is gonna be like closer to 600. Is something I heard. In my speculation, it would be not only that it's a more limited run, but because of that diorama piece, they're going to be like, oh, bigger box. It is. I mean, it is a bigger box, obviously, but just throwing that piece in, which has no relevance really, they're able to say, oh, it's because of bigger box, because there's that diorama piece, 600 bones. But this is great, but 415. My God. JB said I still have the Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary Vader review to edit and post. Yeah, we're talking about that. Oh wait, we're enemies now. Man, fuck your review. JB and I are, which one of us is heel turning, JB? I don't remember. Am I supposed to be the bad guy or are you supposed to be the bad guy? Which one of us is supposed to be John Cena in this? 6. Yeah, yeah, it's 6. No, Anakin was no longer Anakin. He was Darth. Yeah, I know. Pay the extra if you want the stylized hair. Oh, you're right. They do that. They'll say because of the hair. Batfleck is waiting. I think the rifts are affecting it. Yep. A little two bad guys going at it. We both heel turned. Are you Rock and I'm John Cena? You want to do that? Is there a non-artisan series? I'd rather get this one. I'd rather get this. If I'm spending that 4 range. Easy. Let's see if we find a non-artisan series one. They may not have it. They may not have it. Yeah, because they had this one with the Clone Wars suit and the hard plastic hair. It just doesn't seem to match. I mean, they obviously created this one through the same face on it. It's just great. I think we could all agree it's kind of crazy to think you would go from spending $275 to $415 to get some hair, right? Like that's kind of crazy. Like if you collect Barbies, that's all you, but like imagine being like, "Oh, I want my expensive Barbie here to have realish hair, so I'm going to pay more money." Right? I feel like that's like almost it's on the line, right? That's like too literal. Like real talk, Hot Toys are just giant Barbies with more articulation. We can all kind of agree that that's the case. So I feel like it's a bit much to be like, all right, let's throw another 150 for some hair I can comb. Right? Am I tripping? Am I bugging? I don't think so. Steve doesn't understand spending money on hair. You know what? Dude, fair. That's fair. That is fair. I walked right into that one. You know, I would have been mad if nobody else took that. It's not even like I did that setup on purpose, but that's why Anthony is the right-hand man here at Nerd Affiliated. That's why Anthony is the enforcer. Because he saw that and was like, too easy. Pop, pop, pop. Look at that. We even got a thumbs up for that. Sorry, that's a low blow, even though it's a headshot. Yeah. Headshot. What was that? Unreal Tournament? Oh, man. We, this one was fun. This was a fun one this week. We got a trailer finally for Predator Killer of Killers. And what was wild was the whole time we were leading up to this, we all heard the rumors. It was going to be feudal Japan. No, it's going to be Native Americans again. No, it's going to be this. No, it's going to be that. And every time that rumor came out, it wasn't even a scenario where like it was like some bullshit rumor. It was like people were like, no, that's what I'm hearing. Like it's this time period. No, it's that time period. And it turns out that they're doing their own like Clone Wars slash like actually no, I would say it's more of a what if scenario. Oh no, sorry, Visions. It's more like a Visions thing where it's just different eras, different stories, potentially unrelated. Predator versus whatever the warrior is of that time period. Trailer's got some pretty decent violence in it, so I got to say I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited. I hope it's good. We could use another win here. And don't forget we have the live action Alien show, Alien Earth, coming out. So the Predator and Alien franchise continues to roll. It's Disney owned. Disney owned. That and that's the other, going back to last week's conversation, when people are like, "Oh, Disney's hurting or Disney sucks or whatever." I'm like, you do realize they do put out things other than what you see at like Disney Worlds. Like they own Alien now, they own Predator now. Like those are all. Anytime one of those does well, it's the same company. So I'm learning. I'm as I do this channel more with you guys, as we talk about this stuff every week, the more I'm like, oh, there's always more to the story than what meets the eye, than what the buzz things are. So I don't know, just all about that. Hello, Aria, or is it Aria Nova? Good to see you. Maybe your first time on stream. Welcome. Speaking of Barbies, LeBron James, the first male athlete to be a Barbie. I think it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's pretty cool. Aria, there you go. Nice to meet you. I I'm gonna love the concept of like dudes that think they're like super manly folding and picking this one up because it's King James. I think it probably would have sold better a couple of years ago, or maybe whatever. For you sports fans out there, what would you say was peak LeBron popularity? Like, is it now and I'm just not realizing it? I just feel like peak popularity James may have been like pre-COVID. Like he's still, he's still big now, but uh if he's peaked now, then it's going to sell well regardless. Even like Barbie collectors, I think, would buy it. Like if you're some sort of Barbie completionist out there and you're like, oh, the first male sport athlete to do Barbie, maybe we got to pick that up as collectors. It's the first in a line. So, yeah. Damn, the head sculpt is good, but I'm not buying casual James. The stream is good. We stream, so we guarantee stream every Thursday, 8:15ish p.m. But from time to time, we do extra streams. Like I went live, what was it, Sunday with you guys? We did a Sunday afternoon stream. So, yeah, it's at least once a week, but potentially we'll start doing more. We used to do it twice a week guaranteed. Went down to one, but trying to get back to at least 2 streams a week. Lakers is legacy LeBron. All right. So Lakers LeBron is officially a bigger deal than Cavs LeBron, like first time Cavs LeBron. Because you have Cavs LeBron, you got Miami LeBron, back to Cavs LeBron, Lakers LeBron. If LeBron James made it to WWE Elite figure, then maybe I would have bought it. You never know. The thing is, now with Vince being out the picture, WWE is willing to branch out into new partnerships more than they would have with Vince, and they're also willing to they're willing to embrace the blurring between reality and not. So doing a line that crosses over to like the NBA, and like NBA players start doing more things with the WWE. I think it's completely possible now. I think it's possible. Cool area. Cool. I have rookie Cavs LeBron authentic jersey. I'm a Laker fan. No LeBron Lakers jersey. I actually don't have any jerseys outside of my Mighty Ducks one. I try to keep it on brand as a nerdy creator. I've worn it. Actually, I don't think I've worn that on stream in a long time, because I don't think we streamed on St. Patrick's Day. We streamed for 316 Day. Yeah, we did not stream for St. Patrick's Day. It didn't line up. But I would have worn it though. And that was one of our, if this becomes like a major podcast at some point, you know, hopefully somebody can keep tally of like random things. But if there was, if somebody started the list of like drunk purchases on stream or like just after stream, the Mighty Ducks one will be up there. It's like Mighty Ducks and that Savage Dragon action figure are like the two I can think of. That I'm hanging out with you guys. You guys are bad influences on me, and I pulled the trigger. It's you guys. I don't know. I'm messing up screens here. Actually, you know, what I want to do is see. Yeah, this is what happened last time. And I forget, was it on, maybe it was on stream or somebody told me in real life. Oh, T3 told me. I didn't realize that Disney had owned the Anaheim Ducks. I don't know if they're still in Anaheim right now, but when like the Mighty Ducks cartoon came out and they were the Anaheim Ducks, and it made no sense as a kid because I was like, why aren't they in, was it like Minnesota or whatever? It's because Disney had owned them and actually had the team. So I was like, oh, that makes more sense now to the cartoon. Why the cartoon didn't line up to like the movie franchise, not with the live action Ducks thing, but like the town they're in. But yeah. So you have a bunch of Conway jerseys on here. You got Banks on there, the Cake Eater. Oh, there's a black variant one. Got a Goldberg now. The Bombay right now. I feel like there's more. Oh, there's a basketball looking jersey. Look at that. Yeah. So we ended up getting the district 5, right? Or district 9, district 5. We got the Reeds, Bash Brothers, which is not on here. Interesting. There's the USA one. Gilmore. Interesting. Yeah, Reed's not on there. It's a good one though. I like it. It's us. It's us. We're the problem. Yeah, you guys are the problem. You guys are the problem. There aren't really many sports movies I like, but Mighty Ducks is on there. It's on the list. You just made the list. Let's see what else we got. We talked about that this weekend. Talk about that this weekend. So yeah, we talked about a lot this weekend. We somebody got some leaked footage from the Supergirl set. So Legacy of Nerd has that. I'll share it because it's so blurry that you can't really see a lot. So I'll show it on screen. But it's good to see that they're They are doing the show, still rolling out, or movie, still rolling out. She appears to be messing with a tank or something, ripping off a tank. So yeah, I'm 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 excited for Supergirl. I think I think it'd be a good one. Sorry, I was just scrolling. I started scrolling Instagram to see if anything like premiered or was announced that I may have missed. Actually, this one though, I don't know. Actually, there's two things related to this I don't know a lot about. So we're gonna use Legacy of Nerd for some news right now. That's weird. When I click on that button, there it is. So there's a Power Ranger show that's airing right now, and the Red Ranger came back along with the Megazord. So that is an interesting one. I didn't realize they were still making new. Did I lose focus? I think I lost focus. I didn't realize they were making a new Power Ranger show. So he's back, and then the Megazord made its return as well. So interesting. Power Rangers it's in a weird spot right now. It is in a weird spot. We also had the Dark Side of Power Rangers come out, which is part of a longer series on HBO Max about like childhood shows. And I didn't check it out. I feel like I just didn't care. I feel like I didn't care about this one. And if I didn't consume content from Legacy of Nerd, from Henry Resilient, from like if I wasn't in this YouTube space, I think I would have found a Dark Side to Power Rangers special like interesting. So it would have been like, whoa, what really happened? But I think because we talk about this stuff all the time, this being announced just kind of like flew over my head. I just didn't. I saw it too the other day while scrolling. I was like, nah. See, I'm good. I'm good. I wasn't a fan of the documentary. It could have been better representation of what the show stood for and give some light on how depression can hit someone and how to seek the right help. Um, Media right now is trying to focus on dividing rather than telling how it was. The Power Rangers was a huge part of many people's childhood. Wish people would stop trying to poke holes. I don't know if I agree with that state. I mean, I definitely don't agree with the first part. Um, Based on current events. But I don't think people are trying to necessarily poke holes in the legacy of Power Rangers. No pun intended on where I got the source of that story from. But I don't think people are trying to poke holes in the Power Rangers story. I think the Power Rangers are, in a way, they're like outing themselves. So right now, somebody from the No Jumper podcast, if you're into hip hop stuff, you probably know No Jumper. Sorry, kick something. You probably know No Jumper from the podcast world. So somebody just got like arrested because of things they were talking about on the podcast, which, classic modern day hip hop things. You rat yourself out by trying to get cred by talking about your crimes on air or on a podcast or in music. So dude got arrested based on what was going on the podcast. With Power Rangers, I feel like they're kind of doing the same thing right now. I feel like the OG Power Rangers, they went, except for like of the people who are like actively out there, maybe Adam, aka John Young Bosch, he might be the only one. And actually, sorry, because I forgot the other two started. They started doing their circuit. Um, so Amy Jo Johnson, David Yost, and Adam of the OG up to like I don't know up to Zio that are out there touring and doing cons. I feel like they're the only ones that don't actively go out of their way to like talk shit about Power Rangers. But I feel like a lot of other Rangers are like, let me tell you the true story. Let me tell you the behind the scenes. So it's like they're kind of causing the drama on their own. So in the case of the dark side of the Power Rangers, even it existing, I'm like, well, you guys are doing the same thing. Like you're talking about the pay, you're talking about how the walkout was supposed to happen, you're talking about, you know, feeling backstabbed, all that stuff. So it's just somebody else is now eating off that too. But I don't know. It's you know, I don't know about you guys, but I can't think of another fandom that as time has gone on, I've almost like started to care less about the people who were involved than like I think about Star Wars, right? Or I think about Star Trek. Like maybe I have to think about something smaller, maybe like Turtles, like Ninja Turtles, like the movie stuff. Like I think if I had a chance to meet anybody from those franchises, I'd be excited. But with Power Rangers, like I see them at cons and I'm like, I don't care. And maybe it's because they're at all the cons. So maybe that's it. I see them so often, I'm like, with the exception of JDF. But I feel like as a whole, the they've talked so ill of Power Rangers, and they've also scammed fans, various people, not Walter, but other people have scammed fans so much with Power Rangers that I kind of like don't care. Outside of like wanting some sort of new version of the the Power Sword. But yeah, I feel like Power Rangers is the legacy of it, again, no pun intended, it continues to get tarnished. So we need some new Power Rangers out there to really like get us excited again, get us talking again. Yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Let's talk some toys once again before we wrap today's episode. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw a link, so if anybody does want to join, you'll be able to. Let me go over once again. That'll be for the channel members. Where am I going? Here I am. Boom. All right. So yeah, channel members, if you would like to join the stream, a link has been thrown into the community tab on YouTube. You can click on that. If you are a member of the website and you don't have access to the YouTube page, send me a DM or text message, and I will open the floodgates. What was I just about to talk about? Oh, toy shiz. That's where I was going. That is where I was going. Where are you? Here you go. Okay. So I've received messages already. You guys know I've talked about it on TikTok, on Reels. I've received messages already that I'm talking way too much about the tariff stuff. Like as somebody in the toy community, as somebody who does nerdy content, like why am I talking about politics so much? And Toysh is coming out, and then I'll talk about the next one. Toysh is coming out to bring this up. To me, solidifies what I was trying to say, which is this isn't a topic that is exclusive to a political party or not. It's not exclusive to, an ideology or a belief. Like this topic, it literally affects every person who needs to buy a thing to live. to buy anything, as you can see with the chart here. But Toys has brought it up because Mattel and Hasbro made the list over at MSNBC. So to me, I was really excited. I was like, great. So like, hopefully more people see this and they're like, oh, okay, it's not, it isn't like a political thing. Like it actually is a big deal, because it is. We're looking at those Hot Toys right now, and there was a woman today on TV. A couple women have come out, or I saw 2 women, but a couple business owners have come out, and they're explaining the same thing I was kind of telling you guys last week. And you know, I'm not trying to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy right now. I'm not that guy. They were saying the same thing I said last week, where they are business owners here in the United States. They run small businesses, and a lot of their products get produced overseas and it comes over here for them to sell it. They have items currently that have arrived at a port, and they cannot claim them because they cannot afford to pay the tariffs to claim the items. So that's what I'm talking about when it comes to all of this. Like when I mentioned the Dragon last week, and when I mentioned like your pre-orders last week, those scenarios have already begun. They have already begun. And yes, a company like Hasbro, Mattel, maybe they can eat costs to a certain point. Like, hey, we'll do you the solid. It was already on its way. It just got to port. But if you're paying now, since the last time we talked, 124% to clear something, how many times can they possibly do that? They're literally giving you an action figure for free, and they can't even like recoup that costs. They can't write it off or anything. And that's straight tax. So, you know, Toy Shiz mentioned it. I was happy to see it. I was hoping more people would get it. Obviously, there's comments where people do not get it because they still think it's not real. Just like the trees in Canada, bigger and harder wood at a better price than the bad guys in Asia. Yeah. So JB sent me a thing where somebody was explaining how we literally get our lumber from Canada, because not only do they have trees that are better for building, there's more trees. There are more trees that are usable that we can use to build. And now there's an unnecessary tariff on those things. So what's crazy about this, where people think, you know, oh, this is a later problem, right? It's not, because if something is in transit while he makes these quick decisions, all of a sudden overnight you owe all this money that you didn't account for or know was even gonna hit you. Like the person, like if Hasbro, screw that. If the Four Horsemen were far enough, no, actually Hasbro, if a lot of you had already backed the Ecto 1, it closed in December. Let's say that thing was actually ready to go. Let's say it was actually early, and it was on the ocean, and he decided randomly, like he did over the course of 4 days, tariff increases this amount. Oh, changed my mind. Now it's up this more. Up now it's more. That thing gets support, and now they got thousands of Ecto 1s that now you paid X amount, but the tariff cost on the value has gone up 120 something percent. So now Hasbro has to front that money to clear it so they can take it and distribute it. They're not going to eat that cost. Not at a certain point. It's going to be you. And you already paid for this thing. What, are you going to sue them? Good luck. Good luck. I think it's a hope for an agreement before this. Sorry, so what happens is, so you guys can, you know, behind the scenes, if I move the mouse over a comment, like the timestamp pops up as to when the comment came through, and it blocks what I can read. So that's why sometimes I'll hover over and then I like stutter it because I'm like I'm trying to read through like the text. I think it's hope for an agreement before this becomes solidified, and that the admin will figure it out and it will never hit us. But also there's a realism that actually becomes real. So that's the issue. That's the part that a lot of us were trying to say was the concept of making things here this is the part where I'm going to be political. The concept of making things in America is something that I think we all can agree would be great. I would love it if we could do things here and we all are able to eat off of the fact that we're making the stuff. It's just not realistic at a certain point. At a certain point, it just cannot be done. And even the things that it could be done with, you need to roll that out. You can't just flip a switch. That's why I made that freaking meme based on what we were talking about, where, you know, you don't just do this. You don't just go into a factory that's been shut down for like 30 years, flip the switch, and now we're good to go. Like that's a process. It's a process. And that's all a lot of us were saying was, if you're going to do something like this crazy, then give people time to start developing, start to roll it out, etc. Yeah, I want to wear the Nikes. I don't want to make them. But here's the even crazier part. If, let's say that you were like, I'm down for this. I'm a toy company, and I figured out a way that my product could actually be made here. I could do it. He's going to impose this tax. I could make it work. It's going to take me some time. I'm going to eat a lot of costs, but I'm going to develop in America, because he said, I'm not going to negotiate on this. And let's say you start calling some people, hey, all right, we got to go somewhere cheap. Let's go to middle nowhere, Montana. Going to build a factory. Great. Boom, 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 boom. All of a sudden you see a tweet. He reversed it. Whoa. Wait, I literally was about to cut a check to a consultant to find me a place to build a factory. But he's saying he's not doing it anymore. I'm not going to cut the check. All of a sudden, he goes, JK, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to reverse that thought process and say, okay, now I'm going to write the check that I thought I wasn't going to write the check for anymore. Now I'm going to wait it out. Now I'm just going to be like, fuck it. I can't trust you. I'm going to wait. And that's the problem. That the problems keep piling on each other. They keep on piling on each other. And there are people who are just like denying it. And it's like, we're not telling you that you're dumb because you voted for somebody and they lied to you. We're saying you're dumb because you're about to be effed, and you're currently being effed, and you don't want to acknowledge it. That's the problem. What's up, LeBron? Good to see you. That's the problem. Now the other one that made a comment about this, outside of Four Horsemen, because they made one this past weekend, like I said, they had to, but Big Bad Toy Store released a statement as well. Now, what I don't think did them any favors was Big Bad Toy Store already, when they put things up, tend to have a slight markup. And one of the comments I received on TikTok for this one, which is also funny, like some things on TikTok do well, Instagram it sucks. Instagram, it gets a lot of views. TikTok, it sucks. Does terrible on either of those. On YouTube Shorts, it does well. Like I don't understand it. Anyway, somebody on TikTok pointed it out, and I was gonna reference this in my post, and I left it out because I was like, I'll give them their props for at least posting about it. But Big Bad Toy Store already tends to have an increase on their costs. It's just what they do. It's the cost of business. There's a lot of perks to the Big Bad Toy Store. I've never ordered from them, but a lot of people talk about the perks of, like, you can build the queue of things and then they ship them all at once. So I get it. They got to make their money too. But even they're saying it. They're like, hey, I'm going to pass it on. We can't do, we're not doing that shit. You guys are going to have to eat it. Like, what do you want? I respect it. I respect it. But this is a COVID thing once again. What he did is he gave everybody the green light to increase the cost to offset their costs. But best believe if things somehow reverse, they've all got the green light to keep charging you more money because how are you going to fact check that they're not affected still? You can't. You can't fact check that. So for Big Bad, if they raise their costs and he backs off the tariff stuff and they leave their cost up, or Hasbro, they leave their cost up, what are you going to call them and say, let me see your numbers to make sure you're not screwing me over? No. LeBron said, dude, the BBTS post really worried me. I used them for SH Figure Arts. They posted something this week that somebody was like, whoa, what the? There was something, maybe it's a pre-order. Oh, what did they have that for? 60? All right. Excluding surcharge. They started throwing the surcharge on there. Yep. There was some anime figure that was announced. Was it this one? $204. And people were like, whoa, what? Yeah. Nothing else in that like look and scale is even close to that cost. $78. It's nuts. And again, you can't blame them. You can't blame any of these companies. You can't blame any of them. And it's like 130 on the Good S. What is it? Good Smile? Good Smile Company website. I wonder, did they say anything about that on their website? Did they say anything about like having to do a surcharge or something? Because like I told you guys last week, you know, if I'm a lot of these companies, I'm just doing an indefinite pre-order, at least for like 2 months. I'm gonna delay stuff and just pray. But at a certain point, like you can only, because here's the other thing too. Like, let's say, oh, see you, Marsha. See you later. And then I'll get to your comment, LeBron. Like, let's say I'm a toy company and I'm trying to do my fans a solid because I hope, you know, I'm praying that there's a chance all of this gets reversed. I'm hoping. And let's say my stuff just arrived in Port Elizabeth, New Jersey. I'm like, yo, hold it. Like, hold it. And then I'll clear it when I can clear it. They're like, great, do that. We're going to charge you though, because you are taking up our warehouse space to hold it. So how long am I going to eat the cost of the warehouse space? Because I don't want to clear something and have to pay an excess. Same with the ships. Things coming on the ships. All of a sudden, let's say my stuff is at the dock in China, in Vietnam. My stuff's at the dock somewhere else. I'm like, whoa. Hold it at the dock. Hold it. Taking up warehouse space. I got to pay that. Now that ship isn't leaving because nothing's getting loaded. Now that shipping company is paying money for the crew to sit there and do nothing. The shipping company now is paying the dock fee to sit there and do nothing on both ends. There's a domino effect to all this that people once again are like, no, he's making a deal. Oh no, you're overreacting. If things don't move, somebody still needs to pay. Somebody still needs to pay. Again, why it's such a big deal is that everything starts to stop. And if things stop, people lose their jobs, people get laid off, but also somebody pays the fee for an item to sit somewhere. That costs money. It costs money. Gas prices rise fast and slow to fall. Yes, when it comes to they can just charge more and say it's due to whatever. Yeah. But here's the other thing too. One of the arguments people are making is, well, the cost of fuel per barrel is decreasing. So like things aren't that bad. Like when you go to the gas pump, it's cheaper. It's because demand is starting to slow down. And they're also afraid demand slowdown is going to get worse. So they're trying to stay ahead of it and keeping the cost down. It's psychological. Again, not being political for the sake of being political. It literally affects you. So for us, with the toy things, it affects us. You like these things, they may all go away. At a certain point, they're going to go away. It's almost like he only cares about his ego, not the truth. Yeah. And a lot of people do. That's been the overarching thing is uh, non-refundable. Uh you know, I'll say it again. I said it on another stream. There's somebody who used to be a friend of ours in the community who is as pro Trump as it gets. And you know, he talks about, well, nobody believes in him. Nobody's willing to give him a chance. Nobody's willing to do whatever, but then still proceeds to talk about toy collecting. And then he's like, well, if these do go into effect, just don't collect toys anymore. Of which case I'm like, the truth of the matter is the toys are just the lowest denominator in the fucking formula. There's a whole slew of things that are going to be affected by this. We're only talking about the toys because that's what we talk about, not because that's the only thing that's affected. People also don't see that part. And as I said, the opening of the show, I'm wearing the sweatshirt. That cost goes up. The underwear I'm wearing cost goes up. The freaking cup goes up. Coffee goes up. All of it goes up. It's part of the process. Part of the process. Are you guys going to make me do this one? You guys know I want this figure. I don't see the surcharge thing here. What's the collector one? Is it this? It doesn't really say what the collector. What's the collector difference? Box content. Collective display case. Post. But it's not telling me what's different about the standard and the collector's one. Should I go to the Mezco site? Let's see. Mezco toys. Yeah, they don't have a collector's edition one here. It's a standard. Have any of you guys ever ordered directly from Mezco? Curious. I can't wait to start winning. It's gonna be so much reading. Winning. Reading's fundamental. Yep. I think Mezco is that price normally. Yeah. This one has a higher deposit though, $23 versus Big Bad is $9. SH Figure Arts hasn't went up bad yet, but some have. Yeah. Because here's the thing too. If something's already here, because that happens too. So I gave you guys, I explained to you guys when I used to work in the import export world. I explained to you guys last week how the tariff stuff works with getting it through. What I didn't explain last time was there's scenarios where, I said if you were like personally shipping something and you had a person go get it for you, that's the thing where once it's cleared, all right, you can come pick it up. Great, I'll come get it. I grab the thing for you and I take it to you. But what happens most of the time is you get a large shipment of things, like you get pallets of things, and then you have to get it cleared. And then once it's cleared, it can sit at the dock until it's ready to be picked up. So there could be pallets of things. And this is why Apple flew things, because they wanted to get it here faster, to clear faster, and just have it wait. But you could, when things come, they arrive, they are cleared paperwork wise, and then they're offloaded from the ship, and then they're in a warehouse that customs runs at the dock, and then eventually it moves in the logistics chain to eventually leave and go to its final destination before distribution. So it's possible that there are SH Figure Arts things that have come through, cleared customs, going to distribution that are not necessarily accounted for yet, but those are in inventory, so that when you go on the website and it shows they're in stock, it's because there's unclaimed ones in transit to wherever they're supposed to go, or they're already where they're supposed to go. And now that you order it, it gets packaged and shipped out to you. So that's how you're going to have things. That's why people are going nuts ordering things now. Because if it's in inventory, that means it's cleared all that stuff. No surcharge. And there are car companies that have been advertising to buy your vehicle pre-import tax or pre-tariff tax, meaning it's already here. So whatever you pay is what you pay. There's not going to be a new charge when it arrives. So them's the breaks. Them's the breaks. Let's take a look at this one last time. That looks good. The fact that Apple's flying in planes with 90-day grace periods means they probably have in sight that the prices will take effect. So I'm saying. Because you cannot trust him. You cannot trust him. You get it from Macari. I love that. So, it went back up to normal price. Remember when the Thunder Tank was like on crazy discount? Oh, there's something I want to buy. So lately, anything I buy, it's like on crazy discount. I'm not paying like full price for things because I'm poor. But there's one thing I want to pick up. I'll show you guys real quick. Just finish scrolling. Super 7 stuff here. Oh. Let me switch out real quick over here. Oh, they have Cat's Lair in stock for $1,000. That's hilarious. Let's see. Not on the website anymore. Here we go. I might go pick this up tomorrow. So you guys maybe have figured it out. I'm not a huge Masters of the Universe collector. There are some I picked up the Savage He-Man on clearance that came with Oracle, right? Is Oracle the name of the wizard looking character? And I picked up Skeletor from the live action movie. I paid full price for him because, as I always tell you guys, if you want more of something, pay full price for it. This 2-pack is on sale on clearance at Target. And I was like, let me scan it just to see what the actual price is, because sometimes the clearance price isn't the final price. And it wasn't. So this 2-pack is like $14 or $12 or something like that. And I'm thinking about grabbing it. So I just think it'd be funny for photos, especially with that head sculpt. Have you guys picked this one up? Is it good? I don't know of too many Masters collectors here outside of JB. Unless there's somebody who's been lurking that hasn't commented that collects Masters. But this one, for technically $7 each, I might do it. I think this one's fun. I think it looks fun. It might be my my desk figures. So it's $31 on Amazon, but it's probably because somebody bought them on clearance and then they're pushing them out. Would be my guess. Exactly. Oh, Man Collects. Yeah, Man Collects is a Masters collector. He bought them on clearance. He wanted the Cringer. Same. Cringer and the kind of like smiling head sculpt from Prince Adam is what got me. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it if they still got them. So my local, I was telling you guys last week or the week before, had the GI Joe Halo Trooper, a bunch of them, and the sniper, the female sniper, on clearance, and then that was when they had the like spend 30, save whatever amount, so it ended up being 15, I believe, with all the accessories and stuff. So I got it, and I was like, I can get maybe one or two more just for photos, and they were all gone because people realized, oh shit, those are on sale. So he might be gone by the time tomorrow rolls around, but we'll see. But I think that's a fun one. For sure. For sure. So yeah, anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap today's episode? And I've tried my best with when, especially since I feel like the post I made saying I wouldn't talk politics anymore was probably in like, it was probably going into the 2020 election or 2021, whenever it was, when I was like, I'm going to stop, because ultimately you have to be under the understanding that you cannot change anybody's mind. What's up, Rex? Good to see you. Rex is freaking demonic with his prints, man, making some awesome stuff. I don't know how he does it. Even though you do tutorials, I don't understand how you still make them look that good. So shout out to Rex. Yes, Ultra. I'm telling you, at some point I will hit them up to join their stream. Making a movie about getting tariffed. Yeah. So yeah, back in like the 2020 or whatever, I was like, I don't want to do political stuff anymore. I want this nerd space to be one that we can all live in and kind of escape reality and escape things that are, in that world. Sorry, my nose is like itchy, so I keep scratching it. Escape all that kind of stuff. But this is one where it affects everything. And I haven't even been talking about like the actual things that just affect, you know, the history of things. You know, I'm only when I bring this up, I'm only talking about the toy space, but I'm also letting you know it affects your other things as well. So like even Millennium, he does the 3D printing. Like imagine if all of a sudden he has to pay like 100% more to get some filament. Like is that at what point does Rex say it's not worth it to me anymore? That's what I'm talking about. Like it's the tariff thing is beyond a left and right issue. It is they continue to make it that's part of the divide that the administration does. But if you're a small business and you rely on literally anything to be given to you, so you can the only the only ones that are not affected by this, I've determined, are like if you do service. Like if my job is customer service of some sort, then maybe I'm not affected unless I need to get a new computer. But if I do anything that you need to buy a commodity from me, you're gonna be affected. And that's why it's a big deal. And a lot of people already work on a small margin where it's going to be so small, they're just like, F it. And the problem is, I was thinking about it earlier. I don't know if you guys knew this. And what's up, Scooby? Good to see you. I don't know if you guys knew this. So last year I got laid off from my job, right? And I was working in retail. All of the products that we sold were imported. So let's say that I go, okay, I just got laid off from my job. I'm going to go apply to do another retail store, another company. All of those companies are also importing their stuff and are currently doing hiring freezes, shutting down production. So like there are warehouses that, was it, what the umbrella company, I'm just going to look it up. I don't want to say the wrong name. Stellantis. Yep. So Stellantis laid off 900 people before the things went into effect. Cause they're just like, oh, like I'm gonna have to figure it out. Whoa. So right now, if I was working retail and I got laid off and was like, I'm gonna go work in another retail place, a lot of those companies are also not hiring because they're like, wait, can we afford to operate right now? And if your plant has things already, great. But if your plant currently has things in transit, screwed. I appreciate that, Rex. I appreciate that. So, that's all. I try my best to keep my rants relevant to what we all care about in this space and talk about in this space. But I think it's important, and I would be doing you guys a disservice and my conscience a disservice if I left it just at, my Marvel Legend might cost a little bit more, because there's going to be more things affecting you than just a Marvel Legend. It's past that. But can we just talk about how awesome this is? And I didn't pay $50 for it. You know who you are in the chat. You know who you are. Look at that. He can. Oh, am I doing ASMR right now? That's it. I'm doing ASMR. We're doing Sup Tony, good to see you. We're doing ASMR right now, action figures. And now for the exclusive, we're doing G.I. Joe Classified ASMR. I'm gonna take his helmet off. I hate you guys. You guys make me do these things. Well, I had it in hand at $49.99. I can see why. I didn't say I was talking to you. Did I say I was talking to you? You got a problem? We got beef? Do I gotta turn on some Jadakiss right now so we can fight it out? This could be big money. It could be big money. It could be big money. There was I'll end with this. Before I went live on Sunday, I was telling the guys in the chat, I was like, there's a YouTuber right now who's very popular. And wait, Rex said, my wife just chimed in and said, yeah, he can't do ASMR. Tell him to So what she's saying is I need to work on my action figure ASMR. Is that just should I do a stream that is only action figure ASMR? And like, what are the tiers, right? So like Marvel Legends, maybe that's like entry level tier, but like maybe if I had like a Mezco, right, or SH Figure Arts, like is that like paywall OnlyFans? Or like if I get a Hot Toy figure, like me working the joints of like the Batman figure, that the 89 Batman that has limited mobility, do I like, is that paywalled because that's like too expensive of a figure? How does action figure ASMR work? We need to figure this out. Because if we all get laid off from work, we're gonna have to do action figure ASMR. Only downsides, no comments. K-Walk, good to see you. Topaz, how long are you streaming for? Welcome, by the way. We are wrapping up right now, but we are here every Thursday. And sometimes on Sundays or Saturdays or Mondays or Tuesdays. On occasion, we're on Wednesdays and sometimes on Fridays. JB said, if you could get a good look at the T-bone by sticking your head up the cow's ass, but wouldn't you take the butcher's word for, wait. Oh, yeah. Oh my God, what movie's that? Oh, what movie's that? What movie's that? Fuck. Only paywall if you break it. Oh yeah. Dude, imagine that. That's the paywall tier. Is ASMR toys, but they're fragile toys. And then the description is like high percentage chance of like breakage. I would only do NECAs in that. It would only be NECA figures. It would only be NECA figures. And I would put them in the freezer first and then take them out the freezer with the stiff joints and be like, will it break or will it not break? So when's the next stream? Guaranteed next Thursday. But there may be one or two in between. Who knows? Who knows? Man Collect says, you don't remember that movie? Loss of 50 nerd points. I might need a hint. Man Collect. Oh man. Fuck. It's too much pressure right now. Is it Pulp Fiction? Is it Pulp Fiction? If it's not Pulp Fiction, is it at least Tarantino? Oh, Chris Farley? Oh, Tommy Boy? Is that what he said in Tommy Boy? When he was he was trying to make the deal with David Spade? If it is Tommy Boy, I think it is. That was too big of a hint. You got to start smaller. Tony said LOL, so I'm thinking I might be right. I think it was. Tommy Boy. Actually, I can see it in my head now. It's Tommy Boy, yeah. Or Black Sheep. Tommy Boy and Black Sheep in my head sometimes they like cross over. I feel it's Tommy. Okay. Dude, when are we gonna get some Chris Farley action figures? So right now we're on the nostalgia train with the Sesame Street figures. You know, figures we didn't think we needed, but now they're out and they're awesome. So Sesame Street's that. I think a next logical step for action figures we didn't think we needed, but will hit the nostalgia in the right spot is like SNL, old school SNL, or Chris Farley or National Lampoon stuff. That would be great. Chris Farley SNL Funko Pops. See, JB's the real bad guy. JB's the real villain. That your first choice was a Funko Pop. You don't have the vision. You don't have the vision. Actually, I'd buy a NECA Ultimate Matt Foley any day of the week. So would I. Just because it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Funko is currently not doing very well. They've not been doing well for a while. NECA, because I saw the comment. I am a NECA shill. They send me all the stuff for free. Funko is currently at $4.60 a share. And let's go to the question of the day. Does Funko own Mondo? They do. So this is why I was telling you guys, I'm afraid. Do you want to hear me say it? I'm afraid. What movie is that from? This is why I was afraid about the Mondo Ghostbusters. Because I know Mondo's not doing well. And Mondo, I was pretty sure, owned them. And that's why I was like, there's a chance they don't finish the line. And now you're stuck with like 1 out of 4, 2 out of 4, 3 out of 4. Man collects for the win. So I'm telling you, the tariff stuff, right there. Right there. They were doing bad already. You know who's going to do worse? Where do you think they make their stuff? Moderate buy. People still have moderate on that. 1 buy, 0 hold, 0 sell. Nobody covers it. Is what that says. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. It's crazy. Shit's crazy. Rocky 3 is the answer. My favorite one. My favorite Rocky movie. And that scene is why it's my favorite Rocky movie. Because I thought Stallone actually really nailed it and showed that he's not invincible. And I think for any superhero movie or action franchise to do well, you always need the hero to show that they're vulnerable. And Rocky 3 did that. Rocky 3 and Rambo 1. His best acting jobs to me. I was driving around $1 million tanks and now I can't even get a job at a car wash. That was real. That was real. So, shout out to all of you. Casual Nerd in the house. Josh, good to see you. Yes, that part when he screams out when Mickey dies, I didn't cry. You did. Yeah. It was raining in my house. It rains in my house every time that scene comes on TV. Oh, it's like a weird ass cry too. No. No. But you know, even I keep saying last thing, definitely now last thing. Rocky 3, when Mickey does the speech about he's domesticated and I've been giving him like, you know, bullshit fights and works, they were all a work. That actually taught me all I need to know about a lot of UFC fighters. Like there's a lot of UFC fighters that at a certain point, I was like, you're doing too much. AKA, you're not hungry anymore. Because once you get that belt and once you're on that Wheaties box, once you get that Nike sponsorship, in your mind, you're good. You're not chasing the belt anymore. You already got it. You got domesticated. Ronda Rousey, number one for me on that one. Number one. You got domesticated. So there you go. It's a wrap. Great episode. Had a good time with you guys today. We went a little bit over time, but I feel like we got through a lot of good topics. And you know, like I said, the things happening right now. Ultimately, I don't know what the solution is outside of, you know, if you're in a red district, you got to say stuff to your people. But it's gonna get real for. It's gonna get very real for a lot of people really soon. It's already been real for some. If you're in the business, there's a domino effect. There's a domino effect. And when I got laid off actually from another job years ago, and on that end, I was in the estimating department doing estimates for people. And when I stopped getting new estimates, I knew there was a problem. Because if I'm not getting an estimate, then we can't bid on a job. We can't win a job. We cannot collect revenue. So sure enough, I got laid off because we weren't getting any more. There was a slowdown. There was a slowdown. Jobs stopped being produced. No estimates, lay off the crew. That's how that works. So currently we're in the business owners are finding out. And in the next couple weeks, consumers are going to start finding out. F around, find out. Do better next time. Yes, JB, I believe you should do better next time. That's my advice to you. That's my advice to you. Your posing abilities of maximum profit figures is not very good. Do better. Do better. I don't even know what button I'm supposed to hit. You got me all worked up. You got me fucked up. Hey Archer Live every Thursday, 8:15 p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. I feel like I had a good time talking to you guys this weekend, so maybe, just maybe, there's a weekend show without the obligation to do it every weekend. Maybe that's the move. Thursday is the only mandatory attendance. The weekend day, up to you. We'll see. But like I said, Hey Archer Live every Thursday, 8:15 p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. More reviews, more unboxings, all that fun stuff coming down the pipe. I am almost done with a Ghostbuster review. So hopefully I can have that, guys, for you this Sunday. But make sure you watch Daredevil. Support Daredevil. Support Disney. They've never hurt you. They've never done anything wrong. Like, comment, subscribe. Talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. Thanos was right. I'm out of here.
Huh? What? What? Huh? More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer.
Yeah, come on, push your button. Push the goddamn button.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.